Try that right now. Make an Australian monkey noise.
See, it's perfect.
Oh my god.
Ash and Zach are super smart. They went to college and learned a bunch of stuff. And Bo and Andrew didn't go to college because that's just the way life goes sometimes. What happens when you put them together and you try to make them learn? Grab your friends, let's listen together on Get Dumped on an Info Dump podcast.
All right, I'm gonna do the whole thing. Okay.
Maybe don't, because it's really hard to understand.
Yeah, let's maybe not do that.
I'm finally going back to listen to it. I'm like, oh man, you guys missed a great Bane impression under that robot voice.
Welcome to Get Dumped On, an Info Dump podcast. We're back, baby! For those of you who missed last week, Zach and I were out, but we're back now, and we're super excited to dump all over everybody.
For those of you who missed last week, you should have missed last week. You missed a good one.
No, you should have tuned in and enjoyed it. I'm not going to let him slander
for
what
public
we did.
consumption.
Well, regardless of whether or not you listened last week, I'm glad you're here now, and I hope you're super excited. Hey, everyone. What time of the year is it?
Summer?
Should we reveal to the world how little time we have in between recording and release?
I mean, this week especially. No, it's fine. It's summertime. And what's the first week of July on all the big TV shows? National Geographic, History Channel, whatever the one is that does it.
Party time.
Aliens.
Zach?
It's Shark Week,
It's Shark
baby!
Week!
Oh, it's Shark Week. Oh my god, I forgot it was Shark Week.
Interesting.
Shark Week. Also, to interrupt for a second, there's a rabbit in the yard I'm looking at. It just did the cutest big stretchums. Just big stretch of the yawn and everything. It was so cute.
Angie, you want to continue our recordings? Anyway,
So
RoboCop enters the scene.
Yeah, so it's Shark Week. It's summertime. We had got a request to talk about sharks. We were wondering how to do it, and since it's Shark Week, it is that time. Zach, do you want to take us through what we're going to be doing today?
Yeah, we're going to be going through some superlative sharks. I'm going to be talking about some all kinds of different sharks because I thought, what's the best way to talk about lots of different sharks in a way that's not boring or confusing? And so I decided that the way to do that is to present a few categories and then talk about which shark is the best at whatever that category is.
So
And I
you
think
guys
that-
know high school superlatives in the yearbook?
Yeah, like most handsome, most likely to end up in a dumpster,
Yeah.
I won that award.
stuff like that. Yeah,
So
yeah.
we're gonna do that with some sharks.
They were
today.
right.
Yeah.
Well, Zach's gonna do it. I helped him research a little tiny bit, and I'm taking more credit than I deserve.
Yeah, go ahead and chime in. Fact check him too if he
fine.
says anything wrong.
Zach would know more than I. He knows more than me about. I would say a lot of animals except for primates. Yeah, that's fair.
Sure. I think you're selling yourself a little short, babe, but, thanks for gassing me up there. But yeah, so let's talk about sharks, baby. Let's talk about sharks. I want to talk about sharks.
Let's talk about
Please
sharks,
let me talk about sharks.
baby.
I do feel like I need to play lip service to the fact that while, we are doing this in a more topical than usual and that we're actually talking about this during Shark Week, a lot of ichthyologists who are fish scientists, and sharks are fish, tend to not be the biggest fans of Shark Week because a lot of the programs in Shark Week are kind of sensationalizing the idea of sharks as they're badasses and they're going to attack you and this one's the one that's going to attack you the hardest. Or there's shows that are like, we fished this shark out up from 5,000 feet below sea level and it died in the process and now we're going to show you how cool it is, even though we just killed a shark and stuff like that. So that's not great. So I just want to tell you what these sharks are really good at. So what do you guys know about sharks to start with? What
They
hey, Bo,
swim in the
define
ocean.
shark for me.
Oh, grumpy guy who eats everything and then gets like that. I'm going to eat you.
Scientists hate Bo so much.
They have to always swim forward.
They can't
They
be
do
upside
always have
down.
to
They
swim
can't be
forward.
upside down because then they get in a coma.
Yeah, they get stunned if you put them upside down.
Mhm.
They
have
invest
the-
money with emerging businesses.
No, I hate Shark Tank because every time I tried to research something, it showed me shit about Shark Tank. It showed me shit about Shark Tank, and it showed me stuff about the vacuum cleaner company.
They also give
when
you out
instead of
loans
giving me
too, but
information about sharks.
if you don't pay them, they'll break your legs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's true. Loan Shark by Guana Bass is a really good song.
Sharks are very well off. Wait, off financially. There we go. We got there.
Yeah. It's because they have it's because many of them, not all, but many of them have organs in their head called ampullae of Lorenzini that help them detect the latent electricity that every living organism gives off.
That's so nuts, dude.
It's pretty cool.
I love that. The ocean's wild.
The ocean is wild.
I also imagine ichthyologists don't like Shark Week because for ichthyologists, at least ones that study sharks, every week is Shark Week, baby.
Yeah. The important thing about sharks is that they have no bones. It's all cartilage. They are cartilaginous fish, which makes them very closely related to stingrays and things of that nature, which also don't have any bones. They've got 5 to 7 gill slits on the side of the head and pectoral fins that are not fused to the head. Those are the side. I think that's what makes rays, is that their pectoral fins are fused to their head.
Oh, I never thought about that.
And then, because you think about a stingray, you think about how it's like a circle.
Yeah, totally.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
And then from that, sharks...
Okay. You are, what, 5 minutes in? But this episode is better than our episode last week.
No, it's not.
It's a little bit.
Then from that point, sharks are broadly split into 2 extant orders. There's a third order, but it's only got extinct sharks in it, which are the Galilean sharks and the Squalean sharks, which are different for reasons where you'll probably get bored if I start listing them, but they're different. But overall,
what are the biggest differences?
The biggest, I didn't write them down. I wrote, which are different for reasons that you'll probably get bored if I start listening, because I knew that Andrew and Bo would start yelling at me if I started listing a bunch of reasons.
But I want to know the.
You might be right.
Okay, I want to know the difference. Tell me after the pod.
Okay. But overall, there's a little over 500 species of shark. Like every time that we've done any sort of episode about animals, you can't give an exact number of species for a type of animal, because there's always going to be
kind of garbage.
Yeah, and there's always going to be somebody who's like, actually, this is 3 species, and somebody's going to be like, this is 1 species with 2 subspecies, and like it's going to be a whole thing.
But some species can't reproduce the hybrid, so that they're not true species. Shut up about it, okay?
Shut up about it. Okay, let's start.
Don't make it a thing.
Let's start with our superlatives.
God.
All right. First of all, we're going to go with the biggest shark. We're going to start with the crowd pleaser. We're going to say, who is the biggest boy?
The biggest boy.
The biggest boy.
The whale shark.
Alive or in general? Or ever?
Or the biggest girl.
Andrew got it immediately. It's the whale shark.
Okay, so
but also it's technically biggest girl because the females are bigger. No, the whale shark is bigger than any prehistoric shark as well.
I don't know. I saw the movie The Meg, and that thing was pretty big.
The Meg is also drastically overestimated in terms of size.
Okay, so movies are just fantasy. Got it. Okay.
They are, but it's fine.
Exactly, bro. Good job.
Was that the transporter guy that was in that movie?
Yeah.
Jason Statham.
Gotta
Jason
keep the
Statham.
Meg.
I can't believe he got eaten by a shark. I never saw the movie.
I gotta kill that shark.
Okay, hold on, wait, real quick. What's the best shark movie?
What's the what?
The Meg 2.
What's the best shark movie?
The sequel to The Meg.
Well, we watched Jaws like 2 days ago. That movie still whips ass, dude. It zips along.
Sharknado 2.
Nice.
Ooh.
It's funny that you say it zips along. Because it doesn't.
What's that cartoon? Shark Tale.
Deep Blue Sea.
Shark Tale.
I feel like Deep Blue Sea is a really great movie, not only because it was the first R-rated movie that I ever saw, but also because at the end of the credits, LL Cool J raps about the events of the movie, and it has the line, "Deepest, bluest, my hat is like a shark's fin," which is perfect.
Why did you know this?
Really great.
Yeah, it's funny.
Because I watched I didn't watch it that
bank?
long ago. I watched Deep Blue Sea again not too long ago.
You said it was the first rated R movie you've ever seen, and you just said you saw it a few days. What?
I rewatched it.
How long did it take you to watch it?
Oh my God, you've never watched a movie 2 times or maybe more than that? That's crazy.
Oh
Wait, you're allowed to do that?
No, you can't. So when Zach talks a lot, I go browsing, and it's funny how I'm browsing on the internet. I'm on Facebook, and then I found this popped up on my feed.
I think it's really rude that you guys don't listen to Zach when he talks.
Look at
I'm listening right
it's about
now.
Sharks. Look at the sharks. It was convenient to talk about sharks, and that pops up.
Hey, Bo is sending pictures in the chat for the audio podcast.
It's for us, not them. I don't give a fuck about them.
So back on topic. Now, Bo, when you said extinct sharks being larger than extant sharks, living sharks, we've got, I'm sure that what you're thinking of is, like we talking about, the Megalodon. Also recommended is reading the books that the Meg was based on, which I did when I was about 12 or 13 when they were first coming out.
Don't ever recommend reading to me. No, ever.
And I remember the movie, it was great because the movie was in development for years and years and years, to the point where I actually, as a young lad in my early teens, emailed the author of the books to ask him how the movie was coming along. And he replied to me and said that the guy who directed Die Hard was going to direct it. And I was like, wow. And then he ended up not directing it because like 15 years passed. But anyway, that's a fun story about sharks.
He emailed you back? That's so fun.
Steve Alton. Thanks, buddy. You're a real one.
Heck yeah, Steve.
Hey, Steve, come on the podcast anytime.
Yeah, let's talk about sharks, baby.
Steve, I'm sorry that he's emailing you out of nowhere.
So,
it was
let's
a
talk
different
about whale
time.
sharks.
It was
Let's
a
talk about
different
megalodons.
Zach, how many different famous people have you emailed?
Sometimes after I read a book, if I like it, I'll email the author. I emailed Steve Broussard after I read the Rise and Fall of Dinosaurs.
That's so great, babe.
And
You're the best.
he also emailed me back. We talked a little bit about stable isotope analysis in dinosaur fossils.
Do you think they're all friends? Do you think they're all friends and they're just like, oh my God, that guy's emailing us again? Oh, you got that email too?
I find that people like to talk about the things that they make. So,
that's
nice.
awesome. Zach, that's such a fun thing that you do. I love that. I love you a lot, and I think that you're a really nice person.
Wow.
Thanks.
Why don't you guys just go kiss each other or get married or something?
Yeah, why don't you guys just fall in love already? Just get over with.
Yes. Because
Tell me about whale sharks.
So whale sharks, the largest specimen of whale shark ever found was a female who was 18.8 meters long, which is, in terms that Andrew Bow will understand, 61.7 feet.
Thank you.
We got 61.7 feet.
American.
That's a little bit smaller than the estimated maximum of Megalodon, which was about 20 meters. So maybe about 3 feet longer than that. But recent research has kind of reevaluated the size of Megalodon, and it's come down to a few meters smaller than that. It probably was just a little bit more squat, like less, like shorter, but still just as powerful, just not as
dense.
long. Yeah, like denser. So on average, the average whale shark males are 26 to 30 feet, and the average females are a little less than 50 feet, making them, which makes them the largest fish in the world and the largest non-cetacean animal in the world. So cetaceans are whales. So they're basically saying that it's the biggest thing in the world right now that is not a whale, is a whale shark, which is fun. It's tough. It's tough to get an accurate average weight because you can't weigh things that are in the water. And they're endangered species, so you can't just kill them to weigh them. That's kind of shitty. But some have been measured when they get the chance to around 41,000 pounds, which is about as much as Bo's mom weighs.
Hey, come on.
Wow, that was rude. That was really rude.
What the fuck was that?
What did she do? Hi.
Oh my, she's a nice lady. She's a nice lady.
I quit.
I'm sorry.
I'm not speaking for the
I apologize.
No, it's too late now.
I'm calling your mom. I'm gonna tell her.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell her.
Come on.
It didn't mean anything. Obviously, it's an exaggeration. Nobody weighs as much as 41,000 pounds.
I thought you were about to say Bo's mom again.
After that, I'm done talking.
Wow, roasted your own mom. Dang.
Wow.
Funny.
Now, ironically, the whale shark is the biggest shark, and it's also one that eats the smallest food. They eat plankton. Plankton. They eat Franklin. They eat plankton.
Love a good Franklin.
Big animals eating small food is such a genre that I enjoy.
Yeah, it's great because the big whales do that too. The blue whale also does the same thing, except it eats krill, which are tiny little crustaceans, but they eat plankton. And so they're filter feeders like baleen whales, which means that they eat by taking big gulps of seawater and then filtering everything out that isn't the food, usually just by pushing it through their gills, which have thousands of tiny teeth, and they have special pads on their gills that help them separate the food from the water, which is
so interesting.
Cool. Yeah. Here's a chump or dump for you. Chump or dump. Whale sharks have tiny teeth on their eyeballs as well.
Okay, sidebar. Ash, do you know this?
Yes.
Why do you guys know everything all the time? It's really, really frustrating. Bo.
I just said I helped him do the research.
This sounds like bullshit, right? I know you said you're not talking. You don't have to talk to Zach, but you can talk to me. Oh my God, he's dead. Okay.
I'll be Bo. You want me to be Bo?
Okay, Ash, can you do your best Bo impression?
Yeah, okay, hold on.
Make it really exaggerated, if you could.
Oh, hey, what's up? I'm Bo.
Oh my God, it's Bo.
Sorry,
It's
I was
Bo.
saying
Wow,
it
it's
dumb.
Bo.
Oh fuck.
Oh, wow.
Oh fuck.
But Bo, could you please be Ash for this situation?
I don't think I can without it being insulting.
All right, I'll be Ash, you be me, and Ash be Bo.
Okay. Hockey. Yeah, hockey. Do you guys know I play hockey? I'm hockey.
I think that this sounds like something that Zach is lying about, but
Yeah.
also it sounds like he's trying to trick us. But also it sounds like he's lying. Also, I want to eat lemon pepper wings because I'm Bo.
Oi there, mate. Ash is Australian now.
I was just
I think they got teeth on their eyeballs. I don't know what that was. It wasn't Australian. Teeth. The teeth one.
I got teeth down there. You had like shrimp on the barbie, but teeth on the eyeballs.
Yeah,
Try it again.
You got a teeth in my eye, like a snake in my boot. I don't know what's happening.
Woody was
Go for
country
it.
when he did that.
I don't know what's happening. I'm spiraling. Give me the teeth.
Show me teeth.
Correct. That is a dump. That is a correct, true statement.
Ew.
They are
Gross.
They're dermal denticles, and so sharks.
Blech.
You
I
think
don't
about
like that
sharks'
word.
skin,
Denticles.
dermal denticles. So when you think
That's
about a
made up
shark's
word.
skin, have you ever heard
Every
about
word is
how
made up.
a shark is smooth if you pet it in the right way, but they feel like sandpaper and can cut your hand if you pet them in the other way?
Well, I've never pet a shark, and I've
Yeah,
never
that's
pet
not
it the
normal.
wrong way. But
That's
Okay.
not
I know
normal
what you're talking
information.
about. I get it, yeah.
People don't go walk. You don't walk around petting sharks.
is it the same with dolphins?
No, dolphins just have regular
They
skin.
are smooth no matter what.
They are smooth. And so sharks are covered in these dermal denticles. And so denticles are effectively tiny little tiny little scales. But they are structurally the same as teeth. They just grow on the skin.
That's weird.
Wild.
And so
I
that's
don't
what
like that.
sharks are
The
covered in. It helps
ocean
that
is
it's-
crazy.
it's really helpful for hydrodynamics. And so whale sharks have thousands of tiny little denticles over their eyes, up to 3,000. It's just specially, and they're different than the ones on their skin. They're special for the eyes, for protection.
Wow.
They can also, Bo, this is crazy. They can also retract their eyes into the sockets.
I'm not talking to you.
I feel like that'd be useful to be able to do.
Yeah,
It's like, zoop.
it's helpful, I think.
That would be awesome to go to sleep. I think that
Yeah,
would make
right?
sleeping like really easy. Just like slurp,
That's crazy.
just slurping back into your head holes, and like that'd be sick.
Especially when you're going super far down into the ocean to do that. And so a lot of big sharks and a lot of big animals are filter feeders like this, which kind of ends up, I guess it's a really good way for a surprisingly advantageous way for marine animals to get a lot of food with relatively little effort. The second largest shark is the basking shark, which is also a filter feeder. But the way that they do it is different. And so the way that whale sharks feed is that they do big gulpies. And so like they'll just do
Yeah, their
these
mouths
big,
are gigantic.
yeah. And they just take in big gulps. They
Like Bo's mom's.
I'm only talking to Ash this episode now.
We're trying to do the opposite. We're trying to make Bo less
Oh,
angry,
my
not
God.
make him more angry.
Sorry. Unlike Bo's mom, definitely just smallest mouth I've ever seen.
I mean,
It's hard
doing
for her
big
to eat.
gulpies like Bo at the bar on a Friday night.
Yes,
Yeah, or
yes,
7-Eleven
yeah.
when big gulps are on sale.
That's why Ash my favorite.
So the basking shark, what it does is it just swims around with its mouth open and just gets whatever it gets
I
in there.
love that.
And that's a method that's called ram feeding, where
Or
you're
am feeding.
just constantly going. And
That's what I look like at most buffets. That's what I do. I lay down on the buffet and I have someone grab me. Most of the time it's Bo. It just by like the belt on the
wheelbarrow.
backside, and he just shoves me down and just.
Ah. What a way
I
to
love
go
that
through life.
mental image. That's
know?
a good mental image.
You're welcome for that one.
Yeah, thank you.
Just all the time.
Okay, now let's go the other direction. Let's go the other way. What's the smallest shark? The tiniest baby boy, or
This would
Yeah,
be
the
the
tiniest
tiniest
baby boy.
baby boy.
this would be the baby boy because the males are smaller. It's a pretty universal that the male sharks are smaller, which is interesting. This is a little fellow called the dwarf lantern shark. I mean, I say maybe it's a little politically incorrect to call it the dwarf lantern shark, but that's what its name is. They're rare. They're hard to find. Only a few of them have ever been found, but they live in the Caribbean Sea off the coast of Colombia and Venezuela, and way far down, which is like, I mean, Not way far down considering how deep the ocean is in general, but like 1,000 feet down. The biggest one found was a female that was about 20 centimeters long, which is 7.9 inches.
What's the smallest one?
Smaller than that?
You didn't write the smallest one on the smallest one category?
Yeah, I don't know. I just wrote biggest one. Hold on. Smallest dwarf.
He's Googling right now.
lantern shark.
Didn't we say that live lookups on the pod don't go well?
6.3 inches.
That's a little shark.
So, tiny little guy. Now, to me, this was a little surprising because sometimes when you look at the smallest version of an animal, it's like something that fits on your fingernail. Like the smallest frog is like a little tiny thing the size of like smaller than a dime.
It's 4 inches long.
So you'd expect, yeah. But so I guess, at least a fair amount of size is expected within sharks. Chumper dump time. I'm going to do a chumper dump for every one of these. Chumper dump time. The dwarf lantern shark is capable of producing its own light.
Lantern shark? That sounds like it would make light. Ashbo, what do you think?
The fact that he thinks I'm talking to him too is ridiculous.
No, I said Ashbo. I'm asking Ashbo. Ash being Bo.
That's you, Ashbo.
Oh, right. I don't know. Seems like bullshit to me.
Hey, Ashbo, how do you feel about loads?
I hate them, and I'm just projecting my insecurities onto everybody when I talk about them so much because I'm afraid that people won't see me as manly.
Wow. Wow.
You want to get
Goodness.
real, man. I don't know.
I forgot the question now. Bo Andrew, what do you think?
Well, if it's anything like my Ducks, which is a hockey team, in case you guys didn't know, I forgot the question. The question.
Show me light.
I almost forgot the question to the answer.
Yeah, I stopped myself. Just let me be. I'm done. I'm done. We should go back to reading.
Real quick.
Okay.
Robo Bo, what do you think the answer is?
Okay. Hold on.
Show me later.
What?
I didn't understand
Show
that
me
at
the
all.
lanterns.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That is a dump. The lantern shark is called a lantern
That's
shark
great.
because it could produce its own light. They have
That
light
took
producing
so long to answer.
cells. They're called photopores on their tummies. This is a pretty common feature in dogfish, which is a type of shark. They evolved them around 111 to 153 million years ago. And because of that, a lot of dogfish type sharks have kind of radiated into deep sea environments.
That's so
because
great.
They can use the photopores to take advantage
so
of that.
is it bioluminescence or it's just different like structure?
Yeah.
That's great. I love bioluminescence on sharks' tummies. Fantastic.
All right, now let's talk about next category. Show me the oldest shark. Talk about the oldest shark.
Now, by oldest shark, you mean shark that evolved first and not like the most grandpa-ist of grandpa sharks?
No, right now I'm talking about the most grandpa-ist of grandpa sharks.
Oh, okay. So the oldest living shark.
The oldest living shark.
Oldest shark. Oldest shark.
Where are my teeth?
It's Bo's mom. Sorry. I don't know.
I'm so fucking done. It's just fucking stupid.
Bo's mom.
Andrew, stop doing this.
You started this, sir.
Yeah, well, that doesn't mean you have to escalate it.
You know me. I have to escalate everything.
Ash is on a thin line too. I'll talk about my insecurities.
No, that wasn't me. That was Bo. I don't know what you're talking about.
give me a couple of.
Yeah, I thought that was Bo talking. What do you mean?
Do we have options on the oldest shark list, or do I just have to guess?
Oh, he was going to tell you. You just kept talking.
Yeah, I was just gonna tell
That's
you.
fine. I mean, I did that. You're correct.
Well, you were smart enough that you said whale shark for the biggest shark, and you were correct there. So I just thought, maybe you know some sharks. You could just
Great
shout one out.
white shark.
It's a shark called the Greenland shark. Greenland sharks, they're pretty crazy. They live, of course, near
Iceland.
Greenland
Aw.
and around the North Atlantic and the Arctic. They scavenge off of the ocean floor, which is fun and a little gross. Now, sometimes they come up in like trawling fishing boats. And a 2016 study took advantage of this to try and estimate the average age of a group of 28 Greenland sharks, which put the average age of this group at 272
I'm sorry.
years
Holy
old.
crap! That's
what were
an
the
old shark.
outliers?
The oldest of which was a 16.5 foot long shark, estimated to be 392 years old, plus
Shut
or minus
the fuck up.
plus or minus 120 years.
Oh my God. The standard deviation is 120 years.
Yeah. So, and this would indicate also, based on their findings, that the Greenland sharks reached sexual maturity at 150 years old.
Could you
Damn.
imagine
It's
That's a
kinda
long
wild.
time.
They're the elves of sharks. It's
How
also
do you tell how old sharks are?
It's also estimated that Greenland
You
sharks
cut it in half and you count the rings.
take 8 to 18 years to gestate and give birth to 10 pups.
Wow. That's
Can
a
you
long
imagine
time.
being
you
pregnant
imagine?
for 10 years?
That's
No.
I mean, I guess if you're 400 years old, it's like not really that long in comparison.
so many mommy and me classes over those 18 years.
Yeah. So now, Andrew, sorry, Bo's not here. I know. Now, Andrew, when you said you cut it in half and count the rings, you're actually really close. What they do to estimate the age of a lot of different animals is to count the growth rings in the vertebrae. Basically, every year that an animal like a shark is alive, they add a little bit more material to the vertebrae, and there is kind of these growth rings, just like in a tree. But the thing about Greenland sharks is because they're bottom feeders, their bones don't. They don't have any bones. But the
They're not bones.
the the cartilage that makes up their vertebrae, because they have bones, but they're made out of cartilage, right? So they've got like individual
Well,
structures
they're not
that are
bones.
analogous to bones.
They're not bones.
They're not bones. It's cartilage.
Yeah, so they're not bones are different than other sharks not bones.
They got no bones.
Every day is a
Yeah,
no
but-
bones day
but so-
for sharks, you know what I mean?
What I'm saying is that a shark has structures that are analogous to bones, and so they have like vertebrae and stuff. And so the Greenland shark, because it's a bottom feeder, it doesn't calcify the same way that other shark's cartilage does. So you can't check the growth rings on the vertebra. That doesn't work for them. Such a large standard deviation is that the only way they could figure out to estimate the age is by carbon dating the eye lenses, which are formed when the animal is born.
What the fuck?
Yeah, because that's how old they are. Is that you have to carbon date them to figure out.
What the fuck?
So they got to take apart their eyeballs to see how old they are?
Yeah.
Did they have to get through the teeth first? That was a joke.
Hey.
Probably.
That was a teeth joke, a teeth eyeball joke. Got him.
Got him.
That is buck wild information that you just said to me.
Mm-hmm. And so that's why there's kind of a standard deviation there of 120 years.
Well,
But
now that makes more sense.
yeah, because carbon dating. And so like only the youngest ones that they found had like the indicators of the nuclear testing that you see in more recent carbon dating. And so like very few of this assemblage of sharks was actually born within the past 60 years,
Wow.
which is nuts.
That is nuts.
It's pretty cool. All right, dump or chump time. Dump or chump time. The meat of a Greenland shark is toxic.
Is it toxic?
Meow, meow.
I'm going to go with the last two ones you told us were true, essentially, or like the most obvious answer. So I'm not going to get fooled the third time. I'm going to say it's not toxic.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you have been on a pretty good roll lately. Bo and Ash, what do you think?
sounds good.
Oh, I was Ash. Show me non-toxic.
Okay, and what does Andrew think?
Well, if it's anything like the fucking LA Kings, such a toxic fan base like
Wait,
hockey.
I thought Andrew was just here. I thought Andrew was the one. I'm getting so
Toxic.
confused and I'm here.
I don't know what's going on anymore. I just want everyone to be participating
Ash is
in the
Bo,
podcast.
I am Ash. Bo is Andrew. Keep
Okay,
up.
everybody's themselves now. Reset button. Everyone's back to being themselves. Zach, tell us the answer.
All right, the answer is that is a dump. Greenland shark meat is toxic. It has high concentrations of a chemical which help their bodies adapt to the pressure at the depths where they live.
Just like the Kings.
No, you can't win them all.
However, that does not stop people from trying to figure out how to eat it. People in Iceland ferment the meat until it is horrendous.
Of course they
just
would.
Gross, but technically edible. They call it kesterhakarl. And they ferment it until it's edible. I would not recommend eating it. It is edible in name only. You can technically eat it and not die, but by all accounts,
Is that
it's
just
That's
disgusting.
like durian
and
fruit.
really just
Durian fruit, yes, it's a fruit, but no, it smells like napalm death.
Mhm.
I mean,
No,
you
don't eat
won't
that.
die if you eat it.
yeah.
Is that different from like the what is it? Starstrumming. It's yeah.
Surstrumming?
Oh, yeah, the stuff they.
I believe surstrumming is herring.
Oh, that okay.
it's
It
still
is-
disgusting though, and it smells
Yes.
like 60-year-old death.
and it's Swedish.
Yeah.
Oh, Swedish, we eat this terrible fish. Yeah.
Now do the
That
Icelandic.
was Holland. That was more Holland.
Now do the Icelandic people.
I'm from Iceland. I eat the shark.
Honorable mention, a little related, the
That was also
frilled
hot.
shark. I look up a picture of a frilled shark because these things are fucking weird. But they're one of the oldest species of shark that exists today.
Oh.
Maybe the oldest existing species of shark. And they're considered a living fossil in the way that any animal can be considered a living fossil. Because as Ash knows, Ash explained that evolution is constant. Evolution doesn't stop, right?
Evolution doesn't stop for nobody. It doesn't do anything for anyone. It's just change over time. So it can't stop because it just exists.
I just looked up the frilled shark. It looks. I don't like that. I don't trust this
It
thing.
looks
It's a
a
weird-looking
little
shark.
weenusy, not gonna lie. It's got a very strange shape.
It is very
It's got a
phallusy.
yeah.
Its whole
Yeah.
body looks like just like a gray penis.
Like
yeah, with weird frills on it.
yeah, like a weird one that you would buy from Bad Dragon, you know?
Yeah. So they have
Bad shark.
So they're considered a
its
living
teeth are
fossil, and the
weird.
idea that any
Oh,
animal can be considered a living fossil because obviously it has evolved, but in the past years, but it's very similar, almost unchanged from older versions. And so some of these features that
Nuts.
it contains, it has ancestral features that most sharks have kind of evolved out of. And so this is something like they have a notochord, which is a very primitive proto-spinal column rather than modern spinal column.
That sounds like something from Fallout.
Yeah, right. The notochord. And their teeth are a more ancestral form than modern shark
Okay, I'm
teeth.
going to say this. Their teeth are fucked up. They're not like regular teeth. The frilled part of the shark is the teeth. They've
Yeah.
got like weird tears. It's very hard to explain what it looks like. You just got to look at a picture of it.
Yeah,
it
I
looks like a
recommend just look
pimple
up a
with
picture.
like jagged edges on the top of it,
Mhm.
Yeah,
and I hate it.
it's
yeah.
weird.
I hate this.
Those teeth that can be attached to the frilled shark can be seen going back to the early Pleistocene. So the frilled shark as a species has probably been around since the early Pleistocene,
Holy
which
crap.
is about 2.5 million years ago. So that's pretty cool.
That is
Now,
wild.
going back even further, let's talk about the oldest shark in that when did sharks first evolve? This is pretty cool. Sharks are one of the oldest things on the planet as a concept. Look at the shark as a thing. And this is largely thanks to the fact that life initially evolved in the oceans, right? Like the first things to have spinal cords were some sort of early fish. The earliest shark-like creatures evolved in the early Devonian period with evidence of shark-like things as early as 410 to 450 million years ago based on teeth. And then the earliest confirmed shark that is recognizable as a shark, we would call this a shark today, is a genus called Cladosalake. There's an E at the end, which is confusing me here, which lived in what is now North America 380 million years ago.
Wow.
Damn.
Trivia interlude. Are these things older or younger than sharks?
We have done this before. We have talked about these
We
things,
have done-
some of these things before.
some of these things before. Let's see. Well, then let's see if you guys remember it. So
You
This
know
is the
how dare you?
this is the one that we have talked about most explicitly before. This is
Oh, God.
trees.
Oh, God.
Are trees older or younger than sharks?
Older.
Sharks are older than trees.
We definitely talked about this. I remember talking about it. I don't remember the answer.
But what do you think?
We're not doing the voices again. I'm not talking to you again.
Oh my God.
I'm just waiting.
Zach Bebo.
Oh, I think that they're younger than sharks.
Does he start every sentence with ah?
Trees are younger than sharks. Sharks existed before trees. Not by much.
We knew that. It was already said before in a earlier podcast.
See, Bo
Come on.
remembers.
And I don't pay attention.
And so
Back to what I was doing.
trees are younger than
Not paying
sharks, but
attention.
not by much. They are 350 million years old, about. So, I mean, not by much. It's still like 30 million years. But, you know, you look at 380 and then you look at 350 and you're like, it's not that big of a difference.
Yeah, those are pretty
Yeah.
close. In the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
eh.
Sharks are all over my social media right now.
All right, now here's another one.
It's Shark Week.
Yeah, because it's Shark Week. Also, Bo, come on. Could you just give me this one thing, please? Just give me this one thing.
Why are you talking to him like he's a squirrel outside?
I don't know, man. All right.
I was this close to
come
giving
here.
him that one thing, and then he just kept.
Oh, come here. Come on, give me the thing.
Give me the thing. Do you think that sharks are older or younger than Saturn's rings?
We talked about this too.
After Bo answers, I would like to answer.
Older.
Andrew, you're gonna answer?
Can I go? Yeah, I was waiting for acknowledgement.
Oh, okay.
To quote Ash I forgot the episode. Sharks are older than Saturn's very rings. I think that's exactly what you said.
Thank you, Andrew. I think that is exactly what I said.
And that would be correct. Saturn's rings are actually remarkably young. They're only about 100 million years old.
No, just a bunch of babies.
Just a bunch of babies.
Now, while we're on the idea of celestial bodies, are sharks older or younger than the very moon itself?
Wasn't the moon blasted off of Earth a long time ago?
There is no way that the moon is younger than sharks. The moon existed before sharks existed. The moon existed before lots of stuff.
Anything existed.
Basically everything.
Or are we wrong?
On the Earth.
And looking like fools right now.
What does Bo think?
No.
All right, you're correct. In that the moon is older than sharks by a lot. The moon's like 4 billion years old.
Okay. We didn't get fooled on that one.
Okay. Coral.
Coral's older.
I
I don't know anything about coral.
Coral's older.
I know that coral is hella old. I think it is older than
I know a guy named Carl, and it kind of sounds like coral, and he's very old.
Carl.
I know a lady
What
named
happened to
Carol.
his hands?
I'm going to say
His
that
hands.
it's,
Why are they missing?
It's older than that.
Yes. Coral is older than sharks by about 100 million years. Coral is from about 535 million years ago. And the last one, the Himalayas.
Same age. Trick
Damn.
question.
The Himalayan,
Same
Himalayan
exact
mountain range.
same exact age, same birthday.
to the minute.
Yep, they're cousins. I don't know. That's my answer.
All right.
They're twins, but one was born
do you
just a
think?
few minutes earlier.
That's Earth Shark is mountain.
Ashley, were you about to say something?
I think that the Himalayas are older than sharks.
All right. Show me younger. Sharks are older than the Himalayas.
Damn.
The Himalayas are actually, like Saturn's rings, the Himalayas are remarkably young, at least in what you would think. They were created when them two continental plates jammed into each other, right? Which is the thing that we know happens throughout Earth's history.
I thought that would have happened a long time ago.
Nope, the Himalayas are 40 to 50 million years old.
Oh, those are just baby mountains.
Those are literal, like compared to everything that you said, those are little babies.
Yeah, little babies.
Little
Why do
baby
people have trouble
mountains.
climbing them? They're just
They're
babies.
just babies.
Yeah. All right, now one last little thing. How many times has our solar system completed a galactic orbit since the first shark woke up and said, "I'm a shark"?
So many.
I don't know how long that takes, so I have no
Same.
idea.
I'm gonna go so many.
I'm going to take the opposite and say so few. That's crazy how few it is.
The answer is almost twice.
Oh my
takes
God,
about-
so few. That's crazy how few it is.
I'd say that's many though in the grand scheme of things.
It takes about 200 to 250 million years for our galaxy to orbit the Milky Way. I mean, for our solar system to orbit around the Milky Way, which
Wow.
is honestly less time than I expected.
That's
I
about
feel
the
like.
same time that it takes Bo's dad to go around the Milky Way.
Yeah, because he's on the planet.
Because we're all
in the
here
solar
together.
system.
Get it?
All of
And I
us.
said Bo's dad so he couldn't get mad at me about saying Bo's mom.
I thought you were going to
Uncle
say
Bew?
something else that was really gross, and I'm glad that you didn't. say it.
No. Why would I do that?
I don't know.
What do you think I was going to say?
Nothing.
Come on. I have no idea what you thought I was.
I thought you were going to say that's how long it takes
All
Bo's
right,
dad to.
Let's get back into this. We're done
Ew,
talking
no,
about this. Let's get back into it.
What was
Let's get back into it.
Post vacation Zach is crazy.
I'm just trying to keep this tick going. So let's go into who's the deadliest shark.
Man is the deadliest shark.
Man, it's the deadliest shark. So this is where we start talking about the great white shark. The white shark, the great white shark, Carcharodon carcharius. You knew
is
that
a
they'd
great
make
white
an
shark
appearance here
and
eventually.
a white tip shark two different sharks?
Those are two different sharks.
Cool.
And it's the oceanic white tip. It is a different shark than the great white shark, but it's
Always
fine.
gotta be a white
Let's-
Was
tip.
the shark was the shark in Jaws a great white?
Yes. So the great white shark, you know them, you love them. They are the shark from Jaws. They are the shark that haunts your nightmares or the shark that shows up in your good dreams, depending on what you think about sharks.
They got big mouths and they got big teeth.
Big mouths.
And they go
big
Who
bite, bite,
dreams
bite.
about sharks?
I dream about sharks.
Have you ever had a dream? Have you ever had a dream about sharks? Like,
Have you ever have you ever had a dream where
That's you.
I was making a reference.
Yeah, get with the internet times.
Yeah,
Bo.
come on, man.
Sorry.
Bo's just out for blood right now, just
Yeah,
like
he's
great
mad.
white shark. Hey,
Yeah.
what
So the main
I don't
Bo
think
is
prey,
the
I've
great
ever
white
had a
shark of
dream
this
about
podcast.
so great white sharks, the poster boy sharks.
Did
their
you
main
just say that
prey
Bo's
is,
the great white shark of this podcast?
Yeah, because he's out for blood right now.
Oh, so he weighs like 2,000 pounds.
Wow, I can't believe
2,400.
Zach just said Bo weighs.
I can't believe that Andrews
much.
would say that about Bo.
Weighs 2,400 pounds, like rich Uncle Bew, racist Uncle Bew.
Rich? Well, I mean,
Yeah.
he might be rich.
He might be rich.
Yeah.
I think he tells everyone that he's rich, but really he's just like living off the income of his girlfriend.
So the main prey of a great white shark is seals. They love to eat seals. They see a seal and they think, "Oh, I'm gonna eat that. I'm gonna eat that seal,"
Aw,
Oh, yummy.
which they attack by ambushing from below. They
cowards.
see a seal up near the water and they just blast up from beneath and breach out of the water with a seal in their mouth. It's pretty rad
That's pretty
because
cool.
even though they weigh 2,000 pounds, they can breach 10 feet out of the water,
That's fucked up.
which is pretty nuts. So researchers from the University of Miami observing white sharks in South Africa since 1998 have recorded a 48% success rate when ambush hunting Cape fur seals, which makes them not only the most successful of recorded sharks, or at least the sharks who have been observed doing this. It's tough because they're fish to get accurate stuff about sharks because there's not enough funding for marine biology. You can't always get this. So for now, with the information that we have, the great white shark is the most successful shark at predation. And this also makes them one of the most successful.
Wow, good job.
This makes them one of the most successful of all predators. Most predators have a surprisingly low successful hunt percentage.
So this just cements that sneak attack is the best strategy.
Mm-hmm. Always.
yes.
Or pocket sand. But they don't have pockets.
Sand, though, so much fucking sand. If only they had pockets, they would be unstoppable.
Yeah. Well, it'll be mud because it's wet.
This 48% success rate puts them about on par with a peregrine falcon. Have a 47% success rate.
Wow.
It makes them better than the average cat. So like lions, for example, have about a 30% success rate on their hunts.
What about when Bo goes and gets chicken wings, though? When Bo goes and gets chicken wings, it's 100% success all the time.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever failed at getting
survivors.
chicken wings, Bo?
Never once, and I don't intend to.
Never.
Ever. Even if there's a fire.
That just makes them more roasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a new smoker. By the way, I'm a side subject right there. I got a Traeger smoker now. I can't wait to. I'm gonna smoke some
Ooh.
fucking chicken wings on that bitch.
I bet those would be
Mail me
good.
some, dog.
I bet those would be good.
Mail me some
How
wings.
many somebody's dog? Yeah, I just got like.
Put it in a manila envelope.
The most successful hunter, though,
Me.
of recording, apart from both, the second most successful hunter,
The dragonfly.
dragonflies.
Oh,
Yeah,
What?
God.
dragonflies are pursuit predators. They have about a 95% success rate on their hunts. They're pretty much the only insect that knows to aim for where something is going to be.
Well, I want to say something to you right now, and just take this as not an insult, but fuck you, because I have a super unrealistic, irrational fear of dragonflies.
What?
I am terrified of dragonflies.
Why?
They're coming for you.
What's wrong with dragonflies?
don't know.
And the 95% they're gonna get you.
And you tell me their hunt rates and they're successful.
If they come after me, they're gonna
Yeah,
get me
except
for
they're
sure.
catching like
Ever s-
flies and mosquitoes
Ever
and shit.
since I was a kid, those things look terrifying, and that just stuck in my head. And
Okay, wait. What was the other thing you were scared of that you told us on this podcast? I remember we were talking about dreams or something like that, and Bo also told us something else that we were like,
T-Rexes.
"Why are you that's
Jurassic Park,
what it was."
Jurassic Park.
So T-Rexes and
I'm over the fear of
dragonflies.
Jurassic Park now. Oh, that's good.
Okay.
Now. Right.
Imagine a dragonfly the size of a T-Rex.
Go fuck yourself.
That would be so
It's
scary.
actually
I would be
there was one during
horrified.
the time. Well, it wasn't the size of a T-Rex, but there was one that existed during the time of dinosaurs called Meganeura. And let me
Ah,
look
the
up
Meg.
exactly-
A big dragonfly?
Mhm.
Meganeura,
The Megafly.
single length of about 13 inches, with giving it a wingspan about 2.5 feet.
Oh, no.
That's pretty big.
It was probably so loud. Can you imagine how loud it was when it flies?
Buzz, 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 buzz.
Yeah, there's
You can hear it coming.
in the 80s. In the 80s, there was this series of trading cards that Topps put out that was kind of like a successor to Mars Attacks, and it was called Dinosaurs Attack, and it was about this like attempt to, I don't remember what they were doing, but they accidentally made these time portals that had all these dinosaurs come through. And so all the cards are just really gory scenes of people being attacked by like teleporting dinosaurs.
Cool.
And
Can we
like,
get back to
animals from
sharks?
that
We're
period.
like, you
And one of them
need
that I
have so
remember
many more notes to get through.
is somebody getting their face eaten by a meganeura in one of these cards. Is super gory.
And it looks like Bo, actually.
And it's Dumper Chump. Hey, let's talk about Dumper Chump. Let's get back on track. Great whites, Dumper Chump, great whites can lose more than 20,000 teeth in their lifetime.
Yes.
Yes.
Correct.
Oh.
That's a dump. That's
Hell
correct.
yeah.
They
Oh, yeah,
lose
we gotta
teeth
stop
all
thinking
the
about these
time.
things. We just gotta fire it.
When you're, Bo, what do you know about sharks? And I did the rant you did, and I said they lose a lot of teeth, and they can't, and they go upside down,
Yeah.
and they go in comas.
They lose a lot of teeth. They lose teeth all the time. They have multiple rows growing in at any given time, and they can have 300 teeth in their mouth at once.
That's too many. I mean, it's good for them, but
That's a
for
lot of
me,
teeth.
too many.
So this was the deadliest shark to prey. Who is the deadliest shark to humans? We'll do it. We'll indulge.
It's a shark. What
Briefly.
kind of shark? A tiger
shark attacks.
You ever see that video?
A what?
Yeah, there we go. Okay, you see that video.
This is again, it's the great white. The great white is the
Oh.
deadliest to seals, and it is also the deadliest to humans. But this is just because great white sharks are smart and curious. And it just so happens that the only method that they have of interacting with things is their mouth. They don't have hands. They don't have
Is
fingers.
biting.
The only way that they know of interacting with things is
That's
biting
how they
them.
say hello.
And so they're like, what's this? I guess I'll try biting it because it's the only thing that we can do. And humans are like, oh, I'm soft. Ah.
Yeah, it's not the shark's fault that we're so squishy. Oh no, my internal organs are only protected by a really small
Yeah,
barrier to
they're
the outside.
underwater. They can't
And
talk.
if
If they talk, it would just go blah, 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 blah. Like they just say hello by biting.
Oh no, if I lose all my blood, I'll die.
This is my rant. My political. I'm gonna get political for a second.
Oh my god.
Shark attacks are rare, and they only happen because we go into their space.
Oh yeah, it's
we
a
only
given.
we go into the water.
Oh, so brave
they-
talking about this. So brave.
The shark. I don't remember who the comedian was, but when
There's some controversial
I
shit.
saw a comedian on like Comedy Central Presents when I was in high school, and they were like, "You never see a shark just showing up in your shower, just like shark attack, motherfucker." They're, according to the International Shark Attack File, hosted by the Florida Museum at the University of Florida, a lot of Floridian research going on. To
Lots of sharks, you know.
Florida's
I mean, Florida
surrounded
has,
by water.
and if people from Florida see a shark, any rational person would be like, "Hey,
Mhm.
don't go near that thing." But if you live in Florida, it's like, "Hey, honey, grab the camera, yoo-hoo," and they jump in.
Water puppy, yeah.
They've assembled all known recorded shark attacks since 1900. There's 949 total.
People from Florida are stupid. That's what I'm saying. Okay, keep going.
This is worldwide. There's been 949 shark
It's
attacks.
mostly in Florida.
Only 142 of them have been fatal since 1900. And so, Ash, do the math here for a second. 949 total over 124 years. How many is that? What's the average there?
I'm so glad he didn't ask us to do the math, Bo.
7.65 attacks per year on average.
7.6.5 attacks. 7.65 attacks per year on average.
That's a lot. I mean, think of how many times you get in a car wreck. It's not that much.
Well,
Unless you're from Florida.
let's think about this in terms of how many people there are on the planet. Now, compare this to the number of people per year killed by champagne corks in France alone, which is 24.
How is it? No.
It's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure. Gets you in the eye. You're fucked.
Yeah, but that shouldn't kill you. Just knock your eye out. Does it go into your
Do you know what's
brain?
behind your eye? Your brain.
No, there's no way that there's no
And
way
teeth.
that
Yeah, if
could
only
kill
you had dermal denticles on your eye, it could retract your
and
eye.
catch it with
There'd
your
be
teeth.
no
your eye teeth.
fatalities from.
Andrew, did you imply that car accidents happen less often than sharks bite people
No, I'm saying how many car accidents do you get personally in a year
versus
I don't know.
sharks in the entire world?
versus sharks trying to attack you?
In the entire world?
The point
Yeah.
that I'm trying to make is that shark attacks don't happen very often at all. One thing that is kind of scary though is the bull shark. Bull sharks are a little scary. They don't kill as many people as great whites, but they will. They are a little bit more scary because I got all confused on myself. Bull sharks have been known to swim up rivers. They can tolerate fresh water.
Oh my God, they're evolving.
And they've been known to swim up rivers and can attack people in rivers. In 1916, one killed a kid in a creek in New Jersey as part of a series of attacks in 1916 that killed 4 people and critically injured a 5th. Over the
Man, you're
course
just
of
hanging
2
out in the
weeks.
river. I'm safe from all the ocean scary stuff. Oh, God.
Yeah, we're not in Florida.
My leg.
No. Yeah, I'm in New Jersey.
Yeah, this is
Can
great.
you blame
Get
the
a
shark
bitch.
though? Like that kid probably was so good.
Yeah.
But again,
Probably.
they sharks are just like, hey, what's this?
Kids are the tastiest kind of person.
Sharks are just like, hey, what's this about? Oh, it's screaming a lot. Why is this yelling so much? I want to leave now. And it tasted gross.
But it tastes so good.
Because usually sharks just bite and then they leave, right?
Yeah. Most shark attacks are just it being like, chomp, what's that? Ugh, this
Oh,
is
it's gross.
gross. I'm leaving.
This isn't a seal.
It just so happens that one bite is enough to ruin your day when it's got 300 teeth in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun fact: that's why the Kiss from a Rose guy doesn't go in the ocean because he gets hunted by sharks. Because his name is Seal. That was the joke.
Mm-hmm. When I was in college, I was on the college radio station, and I had somebody haze me by continually calling in and requesting that I play "Kiss from a Rose," and I would do it. And then after like
That's not a haze.
after like the 3rd time, I was like, actually, this song sucks, and you can go fuck yourself.
How dare you? No, that song. Well, it's so good. Everyone should listen to that right now. Go pull Jorge right now and go listen to that song real quick.
Yeah, we'll be here. Okay, now to go to something that is a little bit less sad than thinking about children getting eaten by bull sharks. Let's talk about who's the best dressed shark. Who's got the best drip? Who's the drippiest shark?
Well, all of them because they're in the ocean.
I guess they're all drippy if you take them out of the water. Who's the best dressed? Well, I take this to mean
This
I'll
sounds like a
give it-
personal
and,
opinion sort of thing. Like there's no wrong answers here.
Zach is the only one on the yearbook committee. He gets to make the decisions.
all of these are voted on by the entire yearbook committee. You know, we polled hundreds of people across the nation.
I didn't vote for him.
And they came, well, yeah, but it's a representative poll. So basically there was enough demographics polled that it could be expected that this would be your answer. And thank you, because you gave it to the Wabagong, which is a carpet shark that lives in and around Australia, that sort of region. Specifically, I really like the ornate Wabagong, which lives in the Great Barrier Reef. Now, as a carpet shark, they spend most of their time along the sea floor in the shallows, and they chomp on crustaceans, fish, and octopuses. And they win best dressed because they're really well camouflaged for the coral reef. They've got a really nice way about them. They're very colorful in a very interesting way. And they've got a cool texture that really helps them blend into the coral.
Isn't the plural for octopuses octopodes?
It's one of the ones that you can do.
I just felt like being smarter than you for a second.
Octopuses and octopodes are correct. Octopus is correct because it's an English word. Octopodes is correct because it has Greek origins. Octopi is incorrect because it's not Latin.
I mean, what sane person would say that?
Anyway, look at the pictures that Ash just posted of the Wabagong. Look at how pretty it is. And it's got this cool beard that really helps it.
They got real big frillies on the front of their mouth, and they're like spotted, and they're kind of shaggy. They kind of look like a shag carpet.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a shark that got run over by a 70s like stoner van because it's flat and it's got a cool design on it.
There have been a few attacks on people by Wabagongs, and almost all of them have been because the person stepped on the Wabagong by accident and they didn't see it.
Oh, it was
Makes sense.
it
It's
was
flat.
sleeping.
Yeah. Dumper chump for the Wabagong. That cool beard that they have is also a sensory organ. Dumper chump.
Yes,
is that true or false?
absolutely, totally, 100%. Not even a
Why
question.
wouldn't it be?
If it's not, I will quit the podcast right now.
If the sauce is not on the side, I send it back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tons of sauce.
Bo?
I agree.
You agree?
I agree with everyone. Yeah.
Yes. So the cool beard, it is the structures of the beard are called dermal lobes.
Oh,
or
thank God. Okay,
barbels.
I don't have to quit.
Barbels, I love more. They work like a catfish's whiskers.
Bobbles.
And so they can sense prey with them by sensing vibrations in the water. That like
I feel the tinglies in my beard. That's what I think it sounds like.
It
But
looks like that.
unlike a catfish, they can also wiggle them to lure in prey.
Oh, don't
Okay,
you
I don't
want?
like that.
Don't you want my beard?
And I'm just imagining an old man saying that. I hate that.
But it's a shark, and it's for fish.
Wabagongs are a little bit smaller than other sharks. Wabagongs are about 4 feet long, depending on the species. The biggest one is the banded wabagong and the spotted wabagong. They're about the same size. They're about 10 feet long, which is kind of wild.
That's really
I have
long.
a question.
Yes?
Why did they name it like it was a squeaky toy?
So the idea, and I don't know if this is true, but the thought that is commonly said is that Wobbegong is from one of the Australian Aboriginal languages, and it means shaggy beard.
It sounds like a Pokemon.
That is fantastic. That is a shaggy beard, a wobblegong. That's great. I love it. 100%. No notes. 10 out of 10.
Sounds good.
It's a
Let's
Pokemon.
move on. Who's got the
Wobbegong.
best? Who's got the best
Wobbegong.
eyes? Who has the best eyes out of all the sharks?
Tiger sharks, because they're all like, so far apart, you know?
You mean hammerheads?
That's what I meant.
I gave hammerhead sharks the honorable mention
Cool.
because they have the eyes are so far apart. It's really cool.
They're cute. I love them. And they have funny little mouths.
They have funny little mouths. Did you know that the structure of that elongated and flattened head is referred to as a cephalofoil, which is a very fun word to say.
That is fun to say.
And this has multiple functions. I mean, obviously, we don't know exactly what it's for because nobody can really get inside the mind of a hammerhead. You know, you can't occupy the mind of a hammerhead. I mean, maybe Andrew could because it wouldn't have anything to like. You could drift with a hammerhead like in Pacific Rim, and there would be no like because you don't have any thoughts, and so you could just get unadulterated hammerhead thoughts.
You lost me.
Well, somebody gets it. Somebody out there will think that's a very funny joke. But so there's a wider space for the ampulla of Lorenzini because it's wider. The head is wider. It would be more effective function. And it also apparently increases their binocular vision so they get better depth perception. And so while we're talking about hammerhead sharks, chump or dump, there's actually 9 species of hammerhead shark.
No, there's more. There's 105. Mic drop.
I don't know. Yes.
All right, I'm skipping
Yes.
Ash because Ash is looking at the document right now. That is a dump. There is 9 species of hammerhead shark in the wild.
God, I'm so smart.
They range in size from 3 to 20 feet long.
I love the tiny ones. They're
The tiny
so
ones,
cute.
they're called bonnet heads. They're very cute.
They're cute.
But so the actual winner for the biggest, for the best eyes, I think goes to the big, no, not I think. It's the yearbook committee made up of hundreds of individual researchers across the country.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
And it actually has a Guinness World Record, is the big eye thresher shark. And this wins proportionally speaking for largest eyes of any animal, but it doesn't win for absolute size. So like technically the blue whale has bigger eyes than a big eye thresher shark, but blue whale is 85 to 100 feet long with 4.5-inch diameter eyes, but the big eye thresher shark is 11 to 13 feet long with 4 to 5-inch eyes, which gives them an eye to body percentage of 3%.
Okay, this thing just looks like it's like super surprised and just dumb all the time.
I think they're really cute looking. They're always like, oh.
Oh, like it's got the eyes huge, the mouth is small, and they look like a mane.
They always,
It
they
looks
always
just
kind of look like they're
constantly
going,
surprised.
what?
What?
And their big eyes, it makes them look so expressive.
The eyes are also pear-shaped and always tilted a little bit upward.
Oh.
And they need them to hunt at about 1,000 feet below sea level. Now, dump or chump here is that you see that they have that long tip at the end of their tail. True or false, dump or chump, they use that to whip their prey with.
True.
Hell yeah.
Why else would it be there?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but why else would it be there?
I don't know, just because it looks fucking cool.
It does look
sick.
fucking cool. And they use it to whip their prey. They fucking swivel around and whip it.
Fucking sick, bro.
It's kind of crazy for thresher sharks because, you know, they says they're 11 to 13 feet long, so it makes their eyes 3% of their body size, right? But you think about it this way, that tail is half again as long as the body. For some thresher sharks, the tail, the upper caudal fin is fully again the length of their body.
Wow.
If you just think about like tip to start of the tail, it's got to be even more of a percentage.
Yeah, right?
So that's fun. They eat little tiny squid a lot of the time.
Wait,
and I
did you
imagine
say that
this
they
would be-
whip it with it or not?
Yeah, and they whip it to stun their
Okay.
prey.
That's so cool.
Sorry, I was petting my dogs. I don't know if you said that or not. They came down. They were looking
Wow,
real cute.
everybody's just distracted.
I can't stop looking at pictures of these little sharks. Oh,
They're so cute.
Yeah, we'll post these on the Instagram. They
love
look
them.
honestly, they look ridiculous.
They look great.
I love them. They're my favorite.
Yeah, they're pretty great.
Oh.
Who's the most hyperactive?
Most hyperactive. Probably not one of the big ones.
This is the one that I won in my high school yearbook.
It is messed up that this was a superlative in your high school and that they gave it to you.
Yeah.
That's just ableist.
By that point in high school, I had chilled down quite a bit.
Wait, is that
And
real?
So this was just another indication that no matter how you try to present yourself to others, they're just going to see you And
Their
yeah,
first
I
impression.
100%.
Are you telling
100%,
truths now?
I 100% don't believe that you chilled down in high school. So, yeah.
I will send you.
Wait, was that
a
real or are
picture
you making
of
that
the
up?
Page. I had because I actually dug
Most
my
hyperactive?
I dug my high school yearbook out of the box in the basement that it's in, so that I could get some of the. Get some of these.
They were voting who had ADD. Did they have a most autistic category as well?
Well, I would have won that too, bitch.
Yeah, they're like, who has ADHD the hardest? Oh, that's got to be Zach, right?
Yeah.
It's just ableist.
Most amount of twitches? Oh, Twitchy Jerry got it.
Yeah.
No fucking way.
Anyway,
Look at that fucking hair. Oh my God. All right, this is definitely not a shark podcast anymore. We're just going to talk about this picture of Zach.
No, we don't have to. Instead, we
Wow.
shark one most hyperactive, which is the short fin mako shark.
What shirt is that?
It's I got it when I was in Alaska. It is a CCCP shirt.
You're wearing a Russian Pepsi shirt?
Yeah, that also had the Pepsi logo on it. It was like to like the early 90s after the Berlin Wall fell, and everyone was super into.
How big into Weird Al were you at that time?
So big.
Okay.
Remember the episode that I did on the Pepsi owning the fifth largest military in the world because of Russia? So call back to Zach's shirt back in high school when he was voted most hyperactive.
Yeah.
Time is a circle.
Time is a flat circle.
Also, the people below you,
mako.
the most musical, they look like fucking nerds. All right, keep going.
I was friends
Don't
with
be
one of them.
rude.
They're nerds.
Anyway, the short fin, the guy in that picture burned me a copy of Americana by The Offspring when we were like 13.
Sounds like a really cool guy.
Yeah.
No, that guy's pretty. That guy gets cool in my book, but
And she's playing a
Americana's a
French
really good
horn,
album.
which we all know is the most beautiful instrument and one that I also played.
Yeah. Anyway, the short fin mako can reach a size of about 13 feet long.
I could
and-
dissect this for hours.
and so they're super fast. They're super big and super fast. They can leap into the air after hooked when they're as a game fish, and they can reach 45 miles per hour. Swim 45
That's really
miles per hour.
fast.
It's a very fast.
Just like Zach in high school. Very fast, very hyperactive.
They could outrun a paddis monkey if a paddis monkey was on land, and they were also.
Yeah, well, I imagine that a paddis monkey probably can't swim very fast.
If the playing fields were leveled, they would still get outgunned.
If there was a
because-
fish tank like that was really long and then a racetrack that was really long, just happened to be next to each other, we could
Yeah.
definitely have that race.
Yeah, but they would lose
Mhm.
because they can't run 45 miles an hour.
Yeah. Now, dump or chump on the mako shark. Mako comes from the Maori language.
Yes.
Actually, am I pronouncing that right? I think I saw a TikTok. It was like it's pronounced Maori, but that might be just an
Those are
accent thing.
Different letters.
I think the pronunciation of it makes it sound more like Maori.
Maori.
And I think the
At
R
least it's
is
more
is
correct than
soft.
Maori.
It's pronounced Maury. He has a show where he.
It's pronounced moray eels, and they electrocute you
That's
when
not-
you're not the father. It's moray on Murray.
Yeah.
Okay, totally. Mako comes from the Maori language, which can refer to either the shark itself or the shark tooth, and it is both a singular and plural word, which is fun.
So you can be like,
You
"There's
would-
a shit ton of mako over there."
Yeah.
Huh? I like that. You want to know what else is fun?
The next category, which is
No,
best
I
smile.
hate fun. What?
What else is fun?
But so for those listening, in this photo of the most hyperactive, there's two categories: most hyperactive, and below him, it's the most musical. The most musical, they put instruments in these people's hands because obviously they're musical and they have to show that, or else, if they were just standing there, people would be like, "How do I know they play music?" That's crazy. But for the most hyperactive, they just threw them in the hallway. There's just
Yeah,
You're
they're like,
standing
just
in
run
front of
around. Just run around
Dasani
and be
vending
running.
machines.
this chick named Kelsey
Act
who has
hyper.
red hair. They just threw them in the hallway and said, "Act hyper." Clearly, Kelsey is grinning very, very heavily, and Zach has his mouth open like someone's about to throw
I think Zach's
some
going,
sort of something into his mouth, or
and
he's
doing
yelling.
like a jump.
Yeah.
And he has
And-
It felt
almost
exploitative.
he has almost a Jufro, but it's really, really crazy hair.
That was
With his
before
Russian Pepsi shirt.
you figured out that conditioner and shampoo were separate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at the person
using
in the
that
back.
2-in-1.
Also, there's a person in the back. I think giving the camera a finger gun.
Who's that guy?
Can we move on, please?
Who's the guy
Yeah.
in the back of the most hyperactive?
Who has the
Is that
best smile?
Zach in this photo? Absolutely.
Andrew, you the one who gets mad at showing pictures for an audio podcast, and now you are analyzing a
I'm
picture
explaining it.
that they
I'm
will
explaining
never
it.
see.
No, I'm not posting.
I
this on
want
the Instagram.
everyone to know what I'm seeing.
But I'll post the photo.
The goblin shark, best smile.
You're right. It's the goblin shark.
Oh shit, that was fucking shot in the dark.
Wow,
Okay.
Andrew, you know so much about sharks and how Zach thinks about sharks.
Yeah.
Oh my
Correctly.
god. I mean, I already know a lot about this, so that's why I'm dissecting Zach's most hyperactive photo.
The goblin shark is famed for having a protrusible jaw, which it can reach out and snag prey with, like a xenomorph from the Alien films. Most of the time, they just look like a regular shark with a long nose, which is more ampullae. But when it's time for eating, they just extend their mandible out and take a chomp. They're not very well documented because they live between 300 and 4,000 feet below the surface in the benthopelagic zone, which is the dark part of the ocean. But it's been observed a few times. A couple of times they've come and they've got like footage of them biting bait traps and stuff like that. And it's pretty neat. Pretty cool fish.
They
that
just
goblin
unhinge
shark.
their jaw like a snake alien.
Yeah. So,
You know, this is pretty neat. Zach is wearing cargo shorts or cargo pants.
dude, I only
they might
ever
be
wore
cargo short
shorts.
pants.
I was only ever wearing cargo shorts back then. I was a cargo shorts
You
guy.
were. He is wearing. It's all like tan colored clothes with a white shirt.
They called
And
me
it's
Big
not
Beige.
a good look.
They called me Big
They-
Beige. I wear more colors now.
That's the
Dump or chump?
laziest fucking nickname in the world. They're like, "Hey, buddy, Big Beige." Like that's
Big guy
like
wearing beige.
Oh my god. My wife was telling me she had a friend in high school who was from Poland, and his nickname was Poland. Like that's the laziest fucking shit I've ever
Hey,
heard in
it's
my life.
Poland. At least he was
Hey,
from
Poland.
Poland. He's not like, I'm from the Czech Republic.
Usually nicknames are earned for like something you do or something like a story behind it, not just hey,
Big Beige.
Big Beige.
I was big. Everything I wore was khaki. It's fine. Dump or chump? The goblin sharks have translucent skin.
Yes. Bo hasn't talked in a while. Bo, you answered this one.
Yeah, Bo, did you die? Bo, are you still here?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just. What's up, Big Beige? I'm gonna say yeah.
Appear pink in photos, and that is because their skin is semi-translucent.
They have red
and
blood.
That's because you see their blood. You're looking at their skin tinted by the blood because it's
I
translucent.
would have thought that sharks had a different color blood, to be honest.
Like a horseshoe crab
Yeah.
or an octopus.
Yeah.
All right, well, we got a couple more. Who's the biggest mooch? Which is also one that was in my yearbook. The biggest mooch, the class mooch. Who's the class mooch?
What?
Of sharks.
Your high school is so shitty. They're just
Dude,
calling
there's-
people mooches.
In the other
Who
picture,
stole
there's
the most
another
money
one
from
that's
you?
most flirtatious. And I also
I
think
see
that's
that.
questionable for high schoolers.
They're like,
Yeah.
who got mono first? That's what we want to know.
There's also one for frequent flyer, which was who skipped class the most.
That's so funny. Going to a small high school must have been crazy.
That's weird, dude.
Yeah.
Like our high school was so big, I didn't know anyone because it was just a sea of people.
Yeah, my graduating class had like 120 people in it.
That's nuts.
I think there were more people in my band than there were at your entire high school.
Yeah.
Probably.
There was over 1,000 kids at our graduation each year.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
No, it's great.
I hate
you
that.
Did you know how easy it is to be a ghost in high school with that many people?
That's true.
No one knows who I am.
That's true.
It's fantastic.
That's true. Who's the biggest mooch in the sharks? I think Bo knows. Bo, you said this one earlier.
Oh, tiger shark.
It's the tiger shark. It's determined by the shark committee who determines these sorts of things. And by that, I mean me. I mean, we could type these into ChatGPT and see what ChatGPT thinks the answers are. But this is real human work. This is people. This is a person. This is multiple people, not just one person.
Why are tiger sharks the biggest mooch?
Tiger sharks are the biggest mooch because they will eat anything and everything they find, regardless of whether or not someone else is already eating it or if it's even something digestible to begin with. AKA, they eat trash. They can eat a fair amount of trash. You cut open their stomachs, you'll find trash.
that? You just ate my cup, dude.
Basically, that's a tiger shark. They're cool and big. They're called tiger sharks because they have stripes. The females are over 16 foot long on the reg,
Wow.
and they have the widest prey spectrum of all sharks, which means that they eat the most different kinds of things. And so it's kind of funny to look at the lists of all the different sorts of the animals that have been found in the tiger shark's tummy area. Just Wikipedia alone lists numerous fish, crustaceans, seabirds, sea snakes, marine mammals, e.g. bottlenose dolphins, common dolphins, spotted dolphins, dugong, seals, sea lions, sea turtles, including the leatherback, loggerhead, and green sea turtles, other sharks, including adult sandbar sharks, rays, and other tiger sharks. And if they can get to them, horses, goats, sheep, dogs, cats, flying fox, bats, and brown
How would
rats.
they get to those?
What
All
the
been found
hell?
in tiger shark's stomach. If they're too close, if they're swimming
Wow.
in particular, it's tough. They will cooperate to finish off sick or otherwise dying humpback whales, and floating whale carcasses are usually accompanied by at least one tiger shark scavenging on the corpse.
They're hungry little fellas.
That's fun.
Hey Zach, did your high school have a poorest kid category? Like poorest family? Like
well, I
clearly
think
like
that's
the poor
probably what
kid?
the class mooch was.
Oh God.
But did they have like smelliest?
Yeah, like stinkiest kid, like most made fun of.
They did. They did have most disorganized.
Again, that's ableist, but okay.
The most amount of swirlies.
Yeah, the bully, the one who got bullied the most.
Yeah. Best bully, worst bully,
Yeah.
most bullied.
Best bully.
Like,
Best bully.
The
It was the
worst
same-
bully.
it was-
You were
and it
nice
was-
to
it was the
everyone.
same photo.
You sucked at being a bully.
Yeah,
You were just
best-
nice
best-
to everyone, and you made people feel valued. Hang out on the weekends.
Easy target.
The best bully and the most bullied, they were actually the same photo. It was like he was giving the guy a swirly, and they're like, "Oh, we use this for the same because you're being the best at bullying this person," and that's a swirly for the other guy. Just dumbest.
Yeah.
It just says like dumbest.
You fucking idiot.
Dipshit.
License plates from almost every state have been found in the stomachs of tiger sharks.
Wow. That's funny.
License plates?
Dump or chump. License plates from almost every state have been found in the stomach of a tiger shark.
It's so
Not an individual tiger shark.
it's so
tiger sharks
specific.
in
I'm gonna say
general.
true. Anything that's specific is to be true.
I'm gonna
Are you
say,
sure? So many of them have been
I'm
true
gonna
so
say
far.
yeah because it reminds me of like wasn't there a license plate in the Jaws? But yeah.
Yes, from Louisiana. Tiger sharks have been found with almost every state's license plate in them at some point in time, including states like Kansas, because they'll just eat
That's
anything.
wild. Because you said almost every and not every. And that's how you know it was true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I might have to skip a couple because we're already going pretty long here. I've got the class clown, which is, well, let's talk about the class clown.
I'll
Who's
tell
the
you.
class
I'll tell you
clown?
about the class clown.
Yeah?
I did. I researched this one. I'll tell you about it.
Yeah.
His name is Zach.
It's the poor beagle.
But with only one O.
Isn't that a fun name?
It's a good name.
The
It's
poor beagle.
The POR beagle. The poor beagle.
Poor
He's
beagle.
also the poorest shark.
Poor bagel.
Just like the
the
poorest
reason
kid.
that we gave these the class clown is because they are among the few fish that exhibit play behavior. They're silly little geese, aka sharks. They roll themselves and wrap themselves up in long kelp. Within a group, they've seen like chasing each other, and they will reportedly play with anything that's floating on the water, like buoys or driftwood. So they're cute. They're just silly little playful little fun little guys.
And they're so cute because they're kind of like little squat little guys.
There's like little puppies. It's got some convergent evolution with the tuna and billfishes and several other groups of active fish. It has what they call a fusiform body. So essentially it allows it to maintain speed. It sustains speed so it can swim fast for a long period of time. And they're warmer than other sharks, which is fun. And they're about 8.2 feet in length, and they weigh about 298 pounds.
You need warmth to play.
To be fun. It looks like the big eye shark, but just without
Kinda
the
does.
long tail.
It kind of does.
And so they're just silly little playful little sharks. Look how cute they are. I don't like that one's out of the water. Put it back. Put it back.
Yeah.
Ash posted a picture of a guy holding one in the water. So can I ask you some superlatives and get your opinion on what it would be?
Sure.
Most likely to be average in every single way possible. What's most average shark?
The most average shark.
Just run of the mill. That's a shark. Nothing special.
That's a shark right there.
That's just a shark.
I would say
Like a reef shark?
Yeah, I was gonna say like a reef shark.
Why?
They do have a cool stripe. I mean, I guess but it looks like a shark, you know.
All right. Which shark would most likely still be hanging out in the parking lot 6 years after graduation, flirting with freshmen?
The mega mouth shark.
The mega mouth, because they can't stop talking. Hey, I'm just trying to think of what else Zach's high school probably had for like crazy superlatives.
Well, I mean, we just have one left, right?
Yeah, we were also going to do most camera shy, which is one
Ooh.
that there was camera shy. But I mean, it's difficult to do because there are so many sharks that are like difficult to photograph because so many of them live like really far, like really deep below the ocean, you know?
Yeah, I couldn't pin down one that was good for most camera shy.
There was like one that was like best buddies, and there's not a lot of sharks that really like exhibit, what's the word I want to say, friendship, monogamy.
Altruism?
Although there's the pair of sharks that we talked about in the orca episode, right? No, that was a pair of orcas.
That was a pair of orcas.
What the fuck am I talking
Let's
about?
just do the last one. It's a really good one to end on.
We could say remoras, though. Remoras are like fish that have these suckers on their heads, and they like to sucker themselves onto sharks, and then they eat the leftovers after sharks are feeding, which is fun.
Okay, but
That's
those
what Bo
aren't
does when he
sharks.
slides me down the buffet line. He eats whatever like pops over my body.
He catches
and
what
he's just like,
flies over your head.
All right, the last one. Well, I have most musical, but because we talked about it, but that one was a goof because no shark has ever been found to have an organ that makes sound. No shark can make noise, except for the shark in Jaws, because it's always accompanied by an orchestra.
Hey Zach.
Yes.
You were not voted most funny.
Hey, you can get fucked. So let's finish it off with an optimistic one. Let's talk about who's most likely to succeed.
Anybody else can't stop staring at this photo of Zach because I can't.
Wow. I should never
You
have
should
posted
never
this.
have said that.
Oh my god, it's so good. It's so good.
So let's talk about the ones that have succeeded. Let's talk about which shark is the most populous. The most common shark is the spiny dogfish.
The way that I thought about this for the most likely to succeed, what is succeeding for animals? It's having the biggest population, right? So that your population can sustain
yeah,
for
like
the longest time.
surviving.
Yeah, so the biggest type of shark, like the most populous type of shark, are the dogfish sharks. And then the most populous of the dogfish sharks are the spiny dogfish. So that's where I landed on spiny dogfish.
Which seems like a sensible way to figure it out. This is what the National Council determined on sharks. It wasn't just us by ourselves. But yeah, the spiny dogfish, there's a lot of them. Yeah, they're pretty cool. You want to give some facts about spiny dogfish since you researched this one?
Sure. They have a maximum length of about 4.5 feet and they weigh about 22 pounds. Pacific spiny dogfish can live more than 80 years, but Atlantic spiny dogfish only live about half that. I don't know why, but I thought it was interesting. The females don't reach sexual maturity until about 35, but males reach it a lot sooner at around age 19, which is pretty crazy. And they are named for their tendency to hunt in dog-like packs, the dogfish. Also, chump or dump, dump or chump, they are venomous.
Say feminist?
Venomous.
They are very, very feminist.
Okay, I was going to say, good on them. Good on them.
The shark future is female. You're welcome.
Andrew, go look at my
I
Discord
see your profile picture.
Okay.
I see it. It's Zach
Did you
from
decide?
that photo. True. This is a dump. All dogfish are venomous. So, like, what do you need to be successful? Big population numbers, venom. Friggin' nailed it.
Yep, you got it.
Sick.
Wild to think of a venomous fish.
There's a lot of venomous fish, right?
Yeah, there are. Actually, there's a fuckload
is it
of
wild?
It's
venomous
not that wild, is it?
Fucking lionfish.
Or dogfish sharks.
Or
Or like
Or
every
dogfish
jellyfish.
which is not a fish.
Oh, you just got
It
schooled,
says
you idiot.
fish
Well, it does
in the
live in the
name.
ocean.
It's called a
Let
fish.
him
All right,
please-
Zach, tell us your most likely to succeed.
Now, I thought the most likely to succeed would be the epaulette shark or the walking shark, which has been determined recently to be the most recently speciated species of shark, as in the most recently evolved, the newest species of shark, which is kind of wild. It has the ability to walk with its pectoral fins out of water for short periods of time.
Shut the fuck up.
They live in tide pools, and occasionally they have to move from one tide pool to the other. And the way that they do that is by getting out of the water and walking from one to the other.
Are those the little, are they from, where are they from? Are they from Japan?
Let's find out. Let's look this up really quickly. Australia and New Guinea. So no.
Interesting. That is wild.
They are of least concern, so they're still pretty populous.
Yeah.
They're new. This is wild. The epaulette shark. We wish you the best in your future endeavors. Being able to walk
Yeah.
is pretty
Yep.
cool.
Yeah.
That Barnaby.
I would say that's the most successful.
That Barnaby.
I don't know
Yeah,
what
he's
you're
so
talking
excited about the sharks that can walk. He
Barnaby
loves
loves
sharks that
success.
can walk. He loves success and sharks
Yeah,
that can
Barnaby
walk.
loves walking sharks. Isn't that right, Barnaby?
I think that's pretty successful. If you're changing with the times, they're not going to get stuck in old technology. Don't know how to print a PDF.
There's people at
Yeah.
my work who don't know how to do that, but the shark probably could.
That's all the shark information that I have for you today.
Beautiful.
That was fun. I liked it.
Yeah. Sharks are pretty great. I think sharks are cool. And I hope that everyone else thinks that sharks are cool. And I hope that people who started off the episode not thinking that sharks are cool or being undecided on whether or not sharks are cool now thinks that sharks are cool.
And I'm sorry for the people who thought this was going to be part 2 of RoboCop.
Yeah,
no
sorry
one
about
thought
that.
No one thought that.
I'm so
and
sorry.
I don't know that anybody
we got
honestly wants
hundreds of thousands of emails, mostly hate emails.
It's our most listened to episode and most negative reviewed episode.
Most confusing, that's for sure. You know what's funny? We started that episode and we were like, yeah, let's read the script. Let's do it. And then 30 minutes in, we were like, oh shit, we've only done 10 pages. We're not going to finish this.
Andrew, what was your favorite part about this episode?
My favorite part, I liked being right about most of the shark stuff. I liked feeling smart, and that was very cool. I liked it when Zach made fun of Bo's mom and the boat got angry at him. And then I also like that the superlatives from Zach's crazy high school, like most likely to be found dead in a gas station bathroom.
Nothing about sharks then, huh? Okay, cool.
I said sharks. I said the sharks were cool.
Bo?
My favorite was Zach revealing and give me I will.
Bo, are you walking away from your microphone?
No,
actively walking
It
away?
sounds like you're walking away. Yeah.
I haven't.
I just said my favorite part was
Sorry, I didn't.
Keep making fun of him.
I learned so many fun shark facts in this episode. I should have written them down, but there was something at the beginning you said where I was like, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard. And then you said something else where I was like, damn, that's fucking crazy too. And then you said something else too. Oh, the fact that they could carbon date the eyes, that is crazy.
Yeah.
That is nuts. And also that I like that the lantern sharks actually have lights on their tummies. That's fantastic. I like that the wobbegongs can wiggle their little beards. That's great. I love so many things that we learned today were my favorite thing.
Wouldn't it be cool if you could wiggle your facial hair?
I think it'd be great.
I think
Like an anime.
Yeah.
I think people who have those giant handlebar mustaches, I think secretly they can move them, and they just don't show the world.
Bo, didn't you have one of those?
Did Bo have one? I don't think Bo can grow like a mustache like that.
Well, he walked away so far.
He's miles away.
Yeah. Wow.
All right. Well, thank you so much for listening to this episode of Get Dumped On, an Info Dump podcast all about the superlative sharks. I hope that you had fun listening to it. I hope that you learned a little something.
Unlike last week.
Unlike last week where you just listened and maybe you didn't learn, except for you learned about how bad Bo and Andrew are doing accents.
Whoa!
Bad.
What the fuck
That
is
got him back. That got him back. I knew
I
it.
came back at a terrible
was
time.
that shit?
I'm leaving again.
Hey, you know what? You know what Ash is bad at? No one thinks about monkeys. Ooh, there we go. We're both telling lies now.
I challenge you to a monkey off.
No, well, it would be a monkey off where you do monkey facts and I do impressions.
Impressions of monkeys? You know, I could get down with that.
I would probably do pretty good as long as the monkeys were Australian.
Try that right now. Make an Australian monkey noise.
Oh, see, it's perfect. Didn't have to think about that.
There are no monkeys in Australia.
Or give me that banana.
Monkeys aren't in Australia. That's not a thing.
I mean, they are now.
Now they are. You just heard one.
Okay, well, like in zoos and stuff. Anyway, thanks for listening to this episode, which is not about monkeys. It was about sharks. If you like this episode,
There's
tell
lots of
us,
sharks in Australia.
Yeah, so many. Tell us your comment on this post or any post and tell us your favorite sharks. Tell us what your superlatives are if you thought of any. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Find us on it's Get Dumped On Podcast on Instagram and getdumpedonpodcast@gmail.com. And is that it?
I think that's it.
I think that's it.
Okay, bye everyone.
All right.
Have a good day.
See you later.
It's Shark Week. Yay.
Bye,
Be careful in the
bye,
ocean
bye,
because
love you,
that's the shark's
bye,
house.
bye, love you, bye.
You and Shark would come into
Take
your
us
house and
out.
say,
Ash and Zach are super smart. They went to college and learned a bunch of stuff. And Bo and Andrew didn't go to college because that's just the way life goes sometimes. What happens when you put them together and you try to make them learn? Grab your friends, let's listen together on Get Dumped On an Info Dump podcast.
Take us out, Robobo.
Oh, okay. Let me go get him on 1 sec.
Oh my! It sounds like he's dying.
If only we knew what he was saying. We'll never know.
He's running out of batteries. I think he might be dying.
Oh no, he needs to charge. Oh gosh, someone plug him in.